Back in book 1 of Sailing Adrift, we completely refit our 1972 vintage sailboat in our driveway. And then we splashed it into the Columbia River. And guess what? It floats. So now we're gonna move aboard and live our lives on the water. Last week on Sailing Adrift, we took our sailboat and floating home, affectionately named Drifter, 22 miles up the Columbia River for our first ever overnight at the city dock of a quaint little town called St. Helens, Oregon. We encountered a couple of bridges and had another experience docking the boat.
Kell!
What?
The pylon! The pylon!
Fine, we didn't hit it.
Cheers, Kelly. We made it.
Then we enjoyed some delicious sundowners and a sunset to match.
There's Drifter in the background. I'm headed into town to see if I can find this. This is a weird little A20 or 23A battery. We have this little remote that works with the autopilot that we couldn't get configured.
Yeah, part of the trip's purpose was to test the autopilot, but so far we haven't been able to do that.
And I talked to the guy who sold it to me, and he said that if I use this little remote that it came with, I might be able to reset the Wi-Fi and start over. So I'm hoping that'll work. That will save me a lot of effort. It's a long shot that it's here. We'll probably not get to use the autopilot on the way back, but it's nice to get out, even when it's nasty. So we're going up to a little market up here. I've been to St. Helens before. There's a highway that runs right through it, and actually Drifter used to live on the Hard, not too far down the road this way, but
originally, before we brought Drifter home, he stayed here in Scappoose at Dyke Marine Boatyard.
I've never been to this little downtown area. It's pretty charming. This building right here is worth the price of admission. It's actually a historic courthouse museum now, because I think they moved the county seat somewhere, but it's got kind of a Back to the Future vibe. No luck at Molly's Market behind me, but I did get a cute little latte, so that's good. On the agenda for today, we're headed over to the fuel dock, and that's going to be its own adventure because I still want to set those calibration points, so I got to convince the fuel attendant to either let me handle it or sit there with me while I put in 5 gallons at a time and then calibrate the machine. Then we got to polish it over to the other side, fill that up, and then refill it, and then fill up our jerry cans. We might be buying about $500 worth of diesel today. But the whole appeal of going here, besides the charm of downtown, is that they have subsidized diesel. So while most people are paying at least $4.65 to $4.89 for the good spots for diesel, and that's for trucks and stuff, down here on the waterfront, we're gonna get it for right around $4 a gallon. So that's pretty good savings.
Okay, so Chris struck out on his battery mission, which means no autopilot for us today. Regardless, we gotta get ready for launch.
But there, we can see for now.
It's clean.
All right, let's get this show on the road. Fired up, Kelly.
This is the part where Chris tried to explain our plan for heading to the fuel dock, but there was a terrible amount of wind noise, so I'll provide you with a quick recap. Our inlet for fuel is on the starboard side, so we need to leave the dock and flip a U-ey, cruise beyond the fuel dock, and then flip around again to line up with the dock on our starboard side.
All right, you ready?
We're free!
Nicely done, dude. Way to go.
We did it, and no one came out.
And look, it's right here.
This is where we asked the nice lady at the fuel dock if we could just do our own thing with the pump, start, stop, and start again to calibrate our fuel tanks. She was super cool and said yes.
Okay. We gotta do this 5 gallons at a time. Would you get on the dock and tell me when we hit 5 gallons?
Yes.
Ready?
Now, if our fuel tanks were just simple shapes like nice cubes, we could tell it when it's empty and tell it when it's full, and it would not need any more calibration.
This is gonna take a while.
That's because the use would be linear. But because our fuel tanks are a bit irregular shaped, we want to make sure it's as accurate as possible. So we elected to go with 5-gallon increments in our 75-gallon tanks.
All right, here we go.
We continued the process by setting our gauge points.
30 gallons! There's an additive we need to throw in here out of that thing.
This is BioBore. It's an additive that does all these magical things. We measured it out accordingly and added it to the fuel as we filled up so it would mix in rather than settling at the top or the bottom. We just kept filling, watching those numbers climb higher and higher.
Hopefully we don't have to do this very often again.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Well, not that part. We will have to do that again. I'm talking about the part where we have to like do this 5 gallons at a time and polish it over. We should theoretically be able to polish it over while we're at like anchor and then come over here and just fill up the port side.
40.
We're not even half done yet, Cal.
Riveting. Just watch those numbers fly. Chris kept plugging in those marker points every 5 gallons. After this tank is full, we'll need to polish it over to the other port side tank and then fill up the starboard tank again. Tank number 1, 55 gallons.
It's not quite full, but it's pretty damn close.
We knew we had 20 gallons in the tank already, so 20 plus 55 equals 75 gallons.
I say we call it 75 gallons. Capacity, 75 gallons. Okay, 75.1. Capacity, 74.9. 75 gallons.
Just giving you a buffer or what?
It just bumps it up one for some reason. Okay. That is one calibrated tank. Now comes the fun part. While I polish it over to the other side, I'll transfer those calibration points and then to the other tank.
One tank down, one to go.
Polishing in process.
While the fuel is polishing from our starboard side tank to the port side tank, we decided now would be a good time to fill up our jerry cans. Then we strapped everything back in place. Let's check in to see how much we've spent so far.
What are they up to, Bob?
303. 75 gallons.
Only another 50 or so to go. But that does entitle us to the 100 gallon plus discount.
Cool. We're at what?
75% of that tank, about 55 gallons transferred over.
Cool.
Well, not 50, it started with some, so.
Oh.
That little pump does a pretty good job. What has it been, maybe 15, 20 minutes, Cal? Well, it's supposed to transfer up to 2 gallons a minute, but you're never gonna get that. So I'm happy with about, over 1 gallon a minute. And it's transferring over about 55 gallons, 60 gallons. No, that's what we got. I'm gonna check on it just to make sure it's not overheating. Nope, feels good. I can put my hand on it no matter where, nothing's super hot. All right, there's the fuel separators. Can you tell which one uses the dyed marine diesel? Right now we're obviously running it through the right side. There is a bit of a delay on this thing, so I do not want to overfill that tank. See how it's been pumping and nothing's happening? Can't tell because there's no water in the fuel, but the pump is going. Oh, I don't know if my OCD is going to allow that to happen. It says 74.9 gallons, Kelly. Come on, baby. Give it to me. Ah, 75 on the button. Excellent. Let's fuel up the other side. Let's get going, huh? Stop standing there drinking coffee and fill up the tank.
Yes, boss.
We'll also add in 3/4 of an ounce of our additive. I want to do it though this time. You got to do it last time.
Okay.
Here it comes up the side. Please continue. It's your first time pumping gas, Oregon?
I am from Washington.
Whatever, you've been spoiled.
It's been like 10 years though, so I really don't get that. More than 10 years.
More than 10 years. Isn't that disgusting? A little bit barfy?
It's a little bit barfy. Yep, just a whole lot of waiting and watching those numbers fly. Okay, I think we're about done. Let's check our display. It says 100% starboard diesel, 99% port diesel.
What's the port side gallons say?
74.3.
That's weird. Was it 75 earlier?
Well, now it says 99%, so I think we call it good. It's
to-
just settling, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Success! That's the damage. Here's the part where we pay up.
Okay, well, we got 20 cents off a gallon, 10 for paying by debit, and 10 for getting over 100 gallons of fuel.
Go us!
So what was the final total?
The total was a whopping $510.51.
Barf. Well, the cheapest I found in town was at Costco, and Costco would have been $4.65.9 a gallon. So that would have been, because this is $4.85, so that's a whole 80 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
That would have been like over $600.
Yeah, we got to just do this at our leisure. Nice.
Yeah, it was cool because I would assume if you came here in the summer and the fuel dock was busy, they wouldn't be so accommodating. But not a whole lot of people use diesel,
No traffic
so
today.
it would have been possible that we could have got it done. But we definitely got it done today. We got to sit there, run a polisher, calibrate the tanks, fill up the jerry cans, all at our own pace. And
Time to get the show on the road and head back.
what?
It's gonna be hard to get on.
Well, you get on, you get at the helm, and I will jump on.
I don't like that.
Right. All you have to do is pick a left. You can do that. It's okay. What I'm saying is, I'll swim to you if that's the case. I'm just joking.
Okay, let's like calm down.
I'm not. No, I'm calm. I'm
Not
calm.
right now.
What? I'm calm.
Okay, so what am I doing?
You're just gonna go back to the helm and wait for me to get on the boat and take over for you. Here we go.
Well, good news. I had no trouble leaving the dock, and Chris made it onto the boat without going for a swim.
Yep. You've got plenty of time when that happens, and you can always have thrown me the rope if it got too far away.
I don't want you to be wet.
Oh, that would suck, but we have all my clothes here.
Really?
Yes, I literally live on this boat. I got plenty of clothes to change into. And I wouldn't have done that. I would have made you throw me the rope. Or at least get the boat close enough to throw me the rope. Yeah. Isn't that like a daydream of yours?
No.
Goodbye, St. Helens. Thanks for having us.
I don't know if we told you, but we went out to eat with our friends the Beckers, so we didn't get much footage of the downtown. But it was a fun night, a nice little town. I like St. Helens quite a bit. I did show you the cool Back to the Future clock tower building. That's top notch. What's for breakfast?
Eggs.
eggs and ham.
Yep. This was our first time cooking underway, and our Dickinson gimbaled stove was a total champ.
Where's yours?
After breakfast, we spotted another vessel about our size.
It's a race, Kelly. See him? I'm gonna catch him.
This is the most action we've seen.
That's right. Look at all these boats, man.
All of a sudden, it started to get a little rolly on us. Glad I'm not making eggs now.
Dude, the boat. Get out of the way.
Sorry, I was trying to get to...
It's not a good experience.
Yeah, definitely a good experience to have all your drawers just fly open. Anyway, back to our new friend over here. Coming up on him.
Drifting. Sailboat race right here. It's just an honor and a shock to see you right beside me a few meters away. So just big shout out to you guys. You keep up the fantastic work you're doing, and it's a privilege and honor feeling side by side with you.
Wow, thank you so much. That just made our day. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. It's fantastic to see you right beside me here.
I was so flabbergasted at this point, almost totally speechless. I had no idea how to respond. Crazy, yeah. Thanks again. Small world. Nice to unofficially meet you.
It's nice to meet you, and hope we get to meet some other time as well.
Psst. In all the excitement, I did not catch your name, and I really hope you reach out to us again soon. Shortly after, the Coast Guard got on and let us know we should probably clear the channel for more important communications. But to our new pilot house friend, we hope to hear from you again. The sun came out and we kept motoring along, passing by all kinds of big tankers. Who are you gonna call?
That bridge. There I go.
Alright, good luck.
Vancouver Railroad Bridge, Vancouver Railroad Bridge, Vancouver Railroad Bridge. SUSB drift requesting help, please.
We learned that the bridge gods in Portland listen to you but don't actually respond.
It's opening.
This is the Burlington Northern or Vancouver Railroad Bridge, and yes, it's part of an active railroad system. Once we go through this, the next bridge ahead is the Interstate 5 bridge, and that's high enough we don't need to radio the bridge gods. Just need to look out for those markers and make sure we're under 50 feet. We got 66 starboard and 52 port. 66 and 52. Are we gonna make it?
Yeah, we're fine.
In our first crossing, with all the excitement, we didn't catch any part of the transiting, but this time went a lot smoother. And we're clear. As we start getting closer to home, I start prepping the boat by letting the fenders out and making sure our lines aren't tangled, so we don't arrive a hot mess. Okay.
We did it.
We
had
did
our
it.
first sleepover
Yeah,
with another town.
very successful.
Yeah. Good docking.
Yeah,
Not great. Room for improvement. but
enjoyable
boys,
ride.
Was not bad at all. What?
Let's not be negative. By now, I'm sure you're probably thinking, what's next? So Chris and I were talking, and we thought it would be really cool if you chose our next adventure. Like, there are so many things we need to be practicing between now and our departure date. Things like anchoring, or making sure the autopilot actually works. They could be even simple, less stressful things like learning more nautical knots, or brushing up on our Spanish, experimenting with our radar. Actually sailing would be a good one. The goal is to beef up our skill set now so we can be as prepared as possible for a trip to Mexico. So we're calling upon you for our next adventure. What would you like to see us do in future episodes? So drop your idea in the comments below. Providing the idea is within our wheelhouse and our budget, I think we can do it. I think we could make it work. You choose our next adventure. See you next week. Hey you, thanks for watching. If you like what you see and you want to keep following along, become a subscriber. Just hit that subscribe button below. And special thanks to our Patreon crew. We really appreciate your support. Hold on, I'm doing a thing.
On the gin. Don't tell Kelly. She's doing intermittent fasting. She'll probably cut this out if I'm not supposed to tell you that. Chili con carne? You're wet? Did you fall in? Did you look at a dirty video?
I don't know if you realize it, but it's raining. You look very surprised.
There's no one behind us. Because we're the only idiots out here. Annoying. Ready?
Yep, ready to go. Get cookie.
Are they green eggs, Kelly?
No,
I called you Helly.
Yeah,